Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us right here for News 19 at 11. I'm Christy Calcagno. It has been nearly 24 hours now since the U.S. and Israel launched strikes on Iran. Just hours ago, we have learned that Iran's supreme leader is reportedly dead. President Trump is now urging Iranians to seize the moment and, quote, take over. Now tonight, News 19 has also learned that a group of pastors is taking shelter right now in Jerusalem. That is including right here. This is Pastor Wes along with his wife right there on your screen. That is his wife, Rachel. They are both from First Baptist Church right here in the capital city. Now, the two of them traveled to Israel with a small group for Bible study. Our News 19 Shannon Taylor spoke with the couple about what they're seeing right there on the ground. Always will be continuing to follow their journey back home, both on air and online at WLTX.com.
So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but a siren is going off right now. This is the second siren of the day. And yeah, so I'm about to head to the shelter now. It's really, the vibes are really off because it is Shabbat, and so there's not a lot of people out anyway, so it feels very deserted. Unfortunate, but this is the circumstance right now. So I'll keep you guys updated. But yes, I'm about to head into the shelter now as we speak.
Well, that was former USC women's basketball player Destiny Littleton as she and other Americans are facing those dangerous conditions during the ongoing strikes in Israel. Along with Littleton, also former Gamecock Tiffany Mitchell and Micaiah Herbert Harrigan are also in Israel right now. USC women's basketball coach Dawn Staley posting this on social media earlier today, asking for prayers for the three former players, saying that they are in what she's describing as a war zone. The post also adds that efforts are now underway to bring them home safely. Also taking a look right now at some of the protests that happened earlier today around the country in response to those U.S. strikes. Several demonstrations were held nationwide, including one right here in the Midlands. That's where people gathered outside the State House. News 19 spoke with the organizer of today's protest about why they came out. Take a listen.
I mean, we all woke up to the same news, which is that the U.S. bombed Iran in the night, in the early hours of the morning, and this is just, I think, probably a start to a much longer process that the U.S. government is going to drag all of its citizens through, and so this is just our response from this morning. You know, we have to speak up and take the moment now and continue to speak up and fight against another endless war.
This is still a very fluid situation across the country and over on the world. As always, we'll be bringing you the very latest around the Middle East, both on air and online at WLTX.com. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us here for Friends at 5. I'm Christy Calcagno alongside Eric Glover. We are following some breaking news tonight.
We understand firefighters are currently on the scene of a two-alarm fire over at the Broad River Trace Apartments.
Yeah, that's right. News 19 is right now on the scene. We have Taylor Richardson right there. Fire crew saying all of this a hands-on-deck effort. Taylor, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm at the scene right now where, as you can see, we'll send it right back to you guys in the studio. Thank you.
All righty, Taylor, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, we're going to have the full details both on air and online at WLTX.com as they keep coming in.
Absolutely. Well, not long ago, the Department of Public Health, they also confirmed one measles case over in Sumter.
Yeah, they're saying that tonight there are 3 different locations across the county with exposures.
News 19's Megan Dox is joining us live over in Sumter County. Okay, Megan, what are you now learning on this Tuesday night?
Yeah, I spoke with DPH earlier this afternoon, and they told me that they cannot confirm how many cases there are. Reporting here in Sumter County, Megan Dauchus, News 19, WLTX.
He's looking out the window, and then everybody just running, and then you heard pop, and then everybody kept running, and all of a sudden it's caution tape everywhere, and she's talking about, and you look over, the man was giving the girl CPR.
Well, class is canceled and an ongoing investigation. We begin News 19 this Sunday night with continuing breaking news coverage for 2 separate Saturday night shootings on the campus of South Carolina State University. The gunfire causing education leaders to cancel a homecoming weekend concert and issue a campus-wide lockdown. Thank you so much for joining us for Friends at 5. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Christy Calcagno.
Right now, we are under a weather impact alert, but first, we are tracking 2 breaking news stories just into our newsroom.
That's right. We have an update now in that deadly wrong-way crash that killed a woman as well as a 1-year-old child on Christmas Eve in Lexington County.
Troopers charged Lee Jordan Little with 2 counts of felony DUI resulting in death, 1 count of felony DUI with great bodily injury, and transporting an open container of alcohol.
Investigators say that Little was booked into the Lexington County Detention Center on January 8th.
And also breaking this Monday night, Columbia police say they're investigating a deadly hit and run involving a man who was walking.
Yeah, officers are saying that they responded shortly after 8 p.m. last night to North Main Street near the eastbound I-20 on-ramp. Investigators believe that a vehicle then hit someone while traveling on the ramp. The name of that person has not yet been shared, and this crash remains under investigation.
Anyone with more information, though, is urged to go ahead and contact Crime Stoppers. As always, you can remain anonymous. Here's that number. It's 1-888-CRIME-SC. We are right now following up on breaking news. We're going to show you a live look over in our nation's capital, over in Washington, D.C. We now know 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard were shot earlier today.
That's right. Here's what we know. The shooting happened roughly 2 blocks northwest of the White House. We know that the 2 members are in critical condition, and officials are calling this shooting an ambush attack.
D.C. police say the suspect was shot and also taken to the hospital. There were many witnesses who were at this scene, and one of them shared what she saw. Go ahead and have a listen right now.
And I heard boom, boom 2 times.
And Trump is now ordering an additional 500 troops in D.C. in response to this breaking news and this shooting. We are still working to learn what led up to the shooting. We're going to have more updates as we learn more, both here on air and also over on WLTX.com. But as you can imagine, this is a breaking news scenario, so new updates are constantly coming into our newsroom.
We're going to start with some breaking news.
Yeah, we're getting some more details about a developing situation over in Richland County.
Deputies are investigating a shooting at the Spring Garden Apartments, which is on Percival Road. Now, deputies found a gunshot victim near North Kings and North Trenham Roads.
EMS transported them to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We're also taking a moment to map this all out and show some video. Deputies have secured this scene, and investigators are now searching for whoever is responsible. But yeah, this investigation is ongoing.
And of course, we have team coverage of this winter storm with reporters scattered all across the Midlands.
And we begin tonight back over in Newberry County. That's where we find News 19's Jamin Wade. He's joining us there with a bit of a mix behind you there, Jamin. A lot different from yesterday.
It's gotten pretty crazy here.
A pretty good demonstration there of all that in the parking lot. That will freeze over later this evening. All right, Jamin Wade, thank you so much. We do have an update on Saluda schools.
Yes, so you double checked, and they're going to be switching over to virtual learning for Monday. And again, we're continuing to get more updates from different districts and different colleges.
Indeed. All right, we have seen icy roads all day out in Fairfield County as well.
News 19 Shannon Taylor joining us live in that area. All right, Shannon, share the latest weather conditions that you're currently experiencing.
Yeah, just like you said, JR, earlier today, it was icy. Erica, JR.
All right, Shannon, thank you so very much. As this stuff freezes over tonight, we're probably going to be seeing more power outages in the Midlands. Erica is standing by with an update on that tonight.
You are absolutely correct, which is why here on News 19, we are very busy tracking power outages. We're taking a live look. This is courtesy of poweroutage.us. Now, if your power does go out tonight, first responders say do not use candles if possible because it is a fire hazard.
You're watching News 19 at 11.
Reverend Jesse Jackson was a product of the red clay of South Carolina. He is your son. And were it not for the shade of the palmetto trees, the man we honor today would not have existed.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here for News 19 at 11 here on air and also over on WLTX Plus. I'm Erica Glover. JR is out tonight. Who you just heard from there is Sonita Jackson, the eldest daughter of Reverend Jesse Jackson. She was one of this morning's distinguished speakers at her father's State House ceremony. From today's public visitation to the memorial service over at Brooklyn Baptist Church, video right behind us here, News 19's Jamin Wade is explaining how folks around the state and the Midlands in our country really are honoring this civil rights icon.
hope without experiencing great despair. Hope is not the absence of despair. Hope is the active conviction that despair will not have the last word.
On this Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we are now hearing a very powerful message from U.S. Senator Cory Booker. That's who you just heard from. He was one of the many speakers at this year's King Day at the Dome. That's where hundreds packed downtown Columbia.
Yeah, it's an annual event and is hosted by the South Carolina NAACP. It began with prayer and ended at the State House with speeches, music, and calls to action. Here's News 19's Ariana Clay.
Ariana, thank you so much. Now to an annual wreath-laying ceremony at the Stone of Hope that is over at MLK Park. That's also where News 19 caught up with the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity of Columbia.
Yeah, their event focuses on reflection and scholarship and civic responsibility, highlighting Dr. King's lasting impact on the community. Here's what one of the speakers had to say about Dr. King.
We gather not out of routine, but out of reverence. Reverence for a man whose life redefined moral courage. Reverence for a movement that demanded America live up to its ideals. And reverence for a legacy that still calls each of us across generations, backgrounds, and beliefs to do more than remember, but to act.
And this year's program also featured remarks from noted civil rights historian Dr. Bobby J. Donaldson, who spoke about the importance of continuing King's work through action. Getting over to our State House, we are now less than 2 hours away from the governor's State of the State address. Lawmakers and state leaders are going to come together to hear whether or where we stand here in South Carolina, and also what big issues are ahead. News 19's Josie Frost is speaking with lawmakers about what she expects. And right now we're getting some more updates. There you are, Josie. What can you tell us as we head into the State of the State address?
Erica, in just under 2 hours, lawmakers will join the governor in the chambers behind me for his 9th and final State of the State. Jermaine Johnson. Erica.
Josie, thank you so much for that update.